Hi, everybody, and welcome to Queens of the Ring. I'm Sarah,
Hey.
Ooh.
joined by my very good friends, Miss Denise and Miss Tati. Well, Tati, I should go
Hey.
like this. It's like flip the screen, so I'm not used to like my. This is my right hand, so
Yeah, right.
I'm not used to the opposite effect of it. But no, thanks for joining me tonight, guys. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We already got Mr. Robert Brown up in the chat.
Hey,
Thank you for
Robert.
being here. I remember seeing him in your stream, Tati, that I did with
Mm,
you.
yeah.
We had a good time with that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So we've got some really good topics to talk about tonight, guys. Just really quick, wanted to just remind everybody this is exclusive to the Hardcore Sports Network. So please be sure to like and subscribe if you like wrestling content like this. We've got quite a few wrestling content creators. We also handle like football, baseball, basketball, all the sports stuff. You're going to find it here. And there's lots of really awesome people that cover that. So again, please like, subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr. I don't know. I'm just listing. Just check us out on social
All the
media.
socials.
All the social
Yeah.
medias. We're on all the social medias. And check us out on Spotify. So um, shows like this and the wrestling experience that I do on Thursday evenings with Mr. Earl Cole, those are just content that we don't put watch alongs on Spotify, but other content like this will be on Spotify. So go ahead and check us out on Spotify. So let's see. We've got Ram. How's it going?
Hey, all the way from Australia. Okay.
I
I know.
know.
That's what I
Isn't
said. I
that
was like, what?
isn't that crazy? I think that's so cool. So it's Ram, if you can answer for me, what time is it by you right now? I just don't know what the time difference is. I'm just curious to see what time it is where when he's watching us. We have Robert, we have Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
We have Wesley here with us. Mr. All Days Off. I remember you from Tati's stream I did with her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, it's 10:05 in the morning by where Ram is
Oh,
in Australia. Holy
They're
moly.
it's
what,
early.
14 hours ahead of us.
Yay, yay, yay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's how many hours did you say? 14? Oh, good lord.
Wow.
Mm.
I'm really glad it's still not 10:05 in the morning because I'm at work right now. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad the workday is done and I get to sit here with my girls and talk about wrestling stuff.
Right?
Yes.
That makes me
Perfect.
happy. That makes me happy. So yeah, like I said, guys, we've got some good topics to talk about tonight. We actually encourage everybody in the chat. Please, share any thoughts you might have, contribute to the conversation. It's definitely encouraged. And I did also want to thank Mr. Nichkovsky, who is behind the scenes, taking care of everything for us, per usual. So thank you very much for helping us out with that. We really appreciate it. So, Mitch, if you could please bring up the first topic that we're going to talk about. Let's see. Oh, ooh, thoughts on WWE bringing back Bad Blood. What do you think, Denise?
I am all for it. I'm excited. I am very excited. And hopefully, if it's anything like the Bad Bloods back in the past, so I'm there. I'm there.
Hasn't it been like, I thought I was reading or heard somewhere, isn't it been like 20 plus years since they've done Bad Blood? Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. What do you
I
think, Tati?
know.
Well, WWE does not encourage blood, so I can't say I am one of the ones who are excited about this. So if I don't see 5 or more people bleeding, what's the point?
Yeah, right. That's why I'm
Every
I'm all
match.
for it. Let it happen. Come on.
Excuse me. Every match should have blood in it. That's what I think. everyone, and shouldn't be like the sissy stuff either. It's
No.
really crazy.
Give us
But
the-
no, I think I think it's a good thing. I do have a feeling though that once Raw moves to Netflix, I have a feeling that we're going to see much more of blood, things like that, much
Mhm.
more violence. They won't have to obviously bleep out as hopefully they won't have to bleep out swear words like they do on Raw and SmackDown. So yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. I think it's great. We've already started to see some storylines come to fruition that involve people having bad blood with one another. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is just one. You could even do CM Punk and Seth Rollins
Yep.
after what happened at the last pay-per-view. You could also consider Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan's feud that they have going. That could be considered bad blood as well. So I think, hey, I'm down for it. I think it's cool.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
But I agree with you, Tati. There definitely needs to be blood involved in that match, some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
They're not gonna have blood in
Absolutely.
his name and then not have blood involved.
And also, if they don't have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso done right on that
Oh
pay-per-view,
my
I'm not
God.
watching.
I was, that was one of the matches. I was disappointed because I thought it wasn't a horrible match, but I was disappointed because I guess I was expecting it to be so much better than what we got.
I'll say it for you. It was horrible.
I was very
was horrible.
disappointed. I was so disappointed. I'm like, what is this crap? Like, I expected there to be like some no holds barred. I thought they were going to put some kind of a stipulation on the match to that match. To be perfectly honest, where it was no holds barred, no DQ, something where they are literally using any and everything they can get their hands on to kick the crap out of each other. I was honestly hoping for that and expecting it, and was very disappointed. See, even Mitch says I was there, and I was like, WTF? Like, everybody is just kind of like, what is this garbage? Like, this is terrible. Yeah. No.
So if anything, that's the perfect place to do a rematch, and they'll be able to get it done right this time. And like we said about the blood and whatnot. I don't know, like, with all the storylines going on right now, we're not sure if it's going to head that way, but I do believe that if any rematch should be happening, it would be that. It definitely would be that. They need a match to redeem themselves from WrestleMania.
They need a do-over for sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like, this is kind of going off of the whole blood topic, like, do you guys feel like, I understand that they have to censor a lot of that kind of stuff because of their TV contracts that they have with USA and Fox. Do you guys feel like perhaps WWE has taken it too far in the opposite direction with them being too tame with that kind of stuff? I think they have been. I think they've gone. It's like, I remember how, like, I think back to that episode of Raw where The Rock was beating up Cody Rhodes, just whipping him out in that parking lot, and how surprised and shocked everybody was that Cody was bleeding. And I'm like, you guys, he's bleeding. It's not, but everybody was treating it like it was something special. And I'm like, that to me is a little bit of a problem where you've gone to, in my mind, you've gone too far in one direction for that. But that's just my opinion. That's what I think. But I wanted to see what you guys thought too.
Well, in terms of wrestling, you'd expect people to be cussing people out and people obviously to be really violent at times. And sometimes I'm just like, there really isn't much of a violence aspect when it comes to WWE, unless you're like, I don't know, in a cage match or some type of hardcore match. No one's really cussing each other out or whatnot. Like, because in real life, you don't like someone, you're gonna tell them off, right? You're not even gonna care about what you have to say. I get it. They have sponsors, with a PG rating and things like that, so they can't do those certain types of things. But that also kind of makes it feel like it's not realistic, based off how nice they are about things. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't get it. I know everybody's saying once they go to Netflix, things will change. That might be the case. We can't really say so for sure. Um, but with being on TV, there's a lot of limitations. However, it wasn't this limited comparison to like 20 years ago, or even more. Especially during the Attitude Era, things were much more lenient in terms of the things that they said, and things that they did absolutely wild things that when I look back, I'm like, I cannot believe this was on television. But I get it. I get the limitations, but I do agree that they cut back so much that when people see things that you should expect in pro wrestling on WWE, people are just shocked, and I don't get it sometimes.
I agree. I hope that it changes. Now, I don't want it to be where they go too far on in the other direction where you see it like every single time the show is on, somebody is getting busted open. It's like then it loses its cool factor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's going to get really old really fast. And I know, well, I mean, look at the way that I have seen people react to, like when John Moxley bleeds in a match. It's like, really? Again? Like,
Yep.
it's
match,
losing.
right?
It's
his signature, though. I don't know. I'm cool with it.
People think it's not as meaningful because it happens every single time. If there is a purpose behind it, then whatever. I don't care. I'm okay
I'm
with
cool
Yeah,
with it.
exactly.
I'm cool with it. Like, I always tell
Mitch.
people, like, people would like complain about John Moxley bleeding and how his style is, and I'm just like, you get into John Moxley that he was before he was Dean Ambrose, so if you're not used to John Moxley before he was Dean Ambrose, then I think it's hard for some people to get it. He's just being himself.
The guy wrestles in death matches, for crying out loud. Do you think like him getting busted open, like for real busted open, not blading himself, do you honestly think that's going to deter him? No. He doesn't care.
Crazy.
He lives for that kind of stuff. He loves it. So, yeah,
Yeah, we're not going to see those kind of crazy stuff in WWE. You're not going to see
no,
pizza slicers and skewers on people's foreheads and stuff. You're not going to see that over there.
Gosh, no.
There's going to be a limit, I'm sure.
Let's bring the bag of tax back. Here's your blood.
Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna forget though that match, seeing those kebab skewers sticking out of John Moxley's forehead.
Crazy.
Like he was a porcupine. Like that. Seriously. Oh
Crazy.
my gosh, that was seriously one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And he's barely moving his head, and the skewers are just going boing, 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 boing.
Yeah, they're like hanging from every which way. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's done it plenty of times, though.
So he started moving his head. It was so funny. Oh my gosh, I started giggling. But yeah, I think that Bad Blood coming, as long as there's good buildup for it. I don't want them just to create another pay-per-view or bring it back just to bring it back. Like, there has to be good build for it. And the fact that they've already started to build matches, they've already started to build feuds for it. I think it'll end up being being really good. At least that's what I'm hoping. So
right, but that's not even the next pay-per-view though.
It's not till October. So I'm fairly certain, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, that is not going to be over in one match. There's no way. They have built up so much animosity towards one another. They've been doing this since February, feuding with each other while Punk's been out injured. Like, this isn't going to be over in just one match. I think this is going to be a series of probably 3 matches. I could see their feud being done at Bad Blood. That I could see, but I don't think that's going to be where they have their. It's not going to be just. I don't think anyway. I don't feel it'll just be like a one and done type of thing.
No,
And again, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, they've been building this up since Rhea Ripley's been out injured. She just came back after being out for 3 months. So I think that is where we're headed. I don't think Rhea Ripley's going to win the title back at SummerSlam. I could see something happening, whatever that it may be. I don't know. But I could see something happening where, again, it's kind of like Punk and Drew McIntyre. The end of their feud will be at Bad Blood, where that's where I think she'll probably end up winning the title back. That's just what I feel, though.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't want it to feel like I'm watching a show full of rematches either. So, chop chop.
I know, right? Chop chop, Triple H. Let's go.
Let's move.
Let's go. Like the old Ludacris song, "Move, bitch."
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. That's one of my favorite songs. Seriously, when I run into traffic like I have so far yesterday and today on my way to and home from work, I will blast that song in my car at people. It's like, oh my God.
Yes.
So, I can't help it. It's just so frustrating. But where is AJ? He should be in something important. Mr. All Days Off, I know he took time off because he just wrestled a match this last weekend in Japan. I think it was this last weekend in Japan, right, Denise?
It was on Saturday, and the match was freaking amazing. It was worth the lack of sleep.
I've seen clips of it. It looked really good. So I want to try to find it on YouTube and be able to watch the whole thing.
It was, I know that there was, I'm trying to think if I bookmarked, somebody posted it on Twitter. I'm trying to see if I bookmarked it or not. I can't remember. I'll try and hunt it down. And if I did, I can send it to you. Because I mean, like, the match is freaking amazing.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll be seeing him in WWE yet. At least probably not by SummerSlam. I don't think so.
Not AJ Styles. I don't think.
Unless they can find something for him.
It's like somebody, I feel like somebody of his caliber, I want them to build something meaningful for him. And honestly, I don't think they could build a meaningful enough feud for him that takes place in 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's possible.
No.
To build something meaningful enough that it justifies him being in a PLE match in 2.5 weeks. Like, it should be meaningful. He's at the point in his career that it needs to be, and it should be meaningful. Needs to be important. And yeah, I don't think they'll be able to do that. I could see them doing something with him after SummerSlam. But then my other thought with AJ Styles is, since they've got this whole partnership with TNA going, I honestly wonder if he's going to go back to TNA for like a final run in TNA, and he's going to maybe do something with them. I think that would be cool as hell.
Yeah.
Help elevate them some more than they have already been elevating themselves. I think that would be really neat. I wouldn't mind seeing it. But
it's a great idea, but I don't know if they'll do that.
I don't know if they will. Yeah, I don't know if they will. So far, it's just been NXT they've been doing the partnership with. So
yeah.
And then Mitch put a comment. Yeah, Mitch put a comment in before that Joe Hendry's back in NXT tonight. So.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they were making for, I guess, I can't remember when, for the Pro Wrestling Noah, where AJ wrestled on Saturday for next month. Like, they're pulling 2 people from NXT to wrestle over there. And I was like, I know I don't watch NXT, but I'm like, I have no idea who these 2 people are.
Do you recall their names? Huh? Do you recall their names?
No.
Oh, I didn't hear about it, so I'm not sure.
I didn't hear about it either. I'm gonna Google it though, because I'm
No.
very interested to know who they got, who they're having from NXT go over there. Because I'm like, I mean, Pro Wrestling Noah. I know it's an independent promotion, but that's one of the more well known independent promotions. I've
Yeah, and
heard
I
of
mean
them before.
they're doing a tour over there next week, and I know that AJ had mentioned in one of the interview questions that he, along with Shinsuke, EO is going back, as well as
Oh,
Kyrie.
thank God.
We're gonna be
Shinsuke.
over there.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's in their tournament. Oh, Josh Briggs and Tavion Heights.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Joshua
okay.
Briggs and Tavion
Um,
Heights.
I'm not impressed. And I've been saying this for a while. This partnership with TNA, NXT, y'all got Joe Hendry coming on over there, shaking up that building. And everybody that they're sending over to TNA is like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
y'all need to
yeah.
bring up the star power. Y'all got TNA bringing, some of their most popular competitors over there. And what is NXT offering? Like, it's not good enough, I think. Sorry.
No, I think there is definitely like the scale is not it's not even. You've got so far you've had Charlie Dempsey go over there. I think one other person has gone over there. You have the Rascals come back to NXT, and now Joe Hendry again for the second week in a row is in
Oh, y'all gonna
NXT.
get sick of Joe Hendry. That's how much they're gonna be using this guy. Okay. He's cool or whatever, but I'm just like, in terms of star power, y'all gonna have to bring it up,
Yeah,
and I just feel like right now it's just not at the same
even
level,
the odds
but
of
we'll
it.
see.
Yeah,
Mm.
even the odds. I mean, why don't you take somebody like Trick Williams and have him go make an appearance, couple of
Hmm.
appearances? Have Trick
Yeah.
Williams go over there. I love Trick Williams. I love his entrance music. I love it. Um, and it's funny. I've been trying to find it to download on my phone just so I can like listen to it in my car, like on my way to work. 'Cause it gets me hyped up. And but yeah, take somebody like Trick Williams, or maybe have like Ethan Page. I know he just won the title, the NXT title a few weeks
Hmm.
ago, but have him go over and make some appearances there. Like that would be a really big deal for the NXT champion to be going over there. You guys had Jordan Grace come and
Yep.
compete against
Hmm.
Roxanne Perez. Why wouldn't you do it with one of NXT's champions?
And she was
Hmm.
actually also just over in Japan too. So I mean,
Oh, I
it's just,
saw that. I saw a picture, I think on Twitter, where she was with AJ Styles, I
yeah,
think.
at the
A
airport.
picture of her and AJ Styles together.
The
Yes.
airport, yeah, and then in one of the restaurants or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I remember it was her and AJ together. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Tati. It kind of seems a little imbalanced right now. And it's like,
Absolutely.
you guys got to step it up. Got to step it up. So, Mitch, what is our next topic? The next one. Ooh, thoughts of WWE bringing in United States and Intercontinental Championships for the women. I'll go to Tati first. What do you think?
Mm, is it both or like one or the other? For me, I honestly, they don't even have 40 women on the roster in terms of the main roster. So I probably would just go with one. Especially if they still have the women's tag titles. Like, it's not that many women in my opinion. Um, so I don't know. SmackDown has less girls than Raw, so it really depends. Like, it would be cool to have one of those titles, either US or IC, and then whoever has it goes between both shows, because I guess they're sticking with this brand split. So I don't think two extra titles will help. I would just do one and just have that one person go back and forth.
That makes sense. I mean, for me, it's hard because I think, okay, you already like can't have mismanaged the women's tag titles, and now you want to add two more titles onto it. I don't think there's enough women in WWE altogether to justify having that many titles for the women. That's just my opinion on the matter. So,
Mhm.
what do you think, Denise?
No, I mean, I like it. I'm with Tati though. Just one, you don't need two, because again, like you both said, there's not enough women um combine on Raw and SmackDown rosters to hold the two. I do like the idea of the one hopping back and forth between both brands and everything, but I know I like the idea, especially with them bringing the North American Championship in NXT for the women.
Mhm.
No, I'm like, I mean, I'm down for even just like an IC. You don't even need a United States title. I'm down for just an IC title for a woman. I mean, I'd like to see it. I'm all for it.
Do you think if they did just one title, do you think they should keep the women's tag titles then? Or nix those as well?
I mean, the tag, I just think because the tag team titles are like something special. Like, because they're as much as sad as it is to say, there are some tag teams are who are known for being a tag team, not individuals. So I mean, like if
Yes.
they were to break off, are they actually going to be able to excel on their own rather than as a team?
It's a very
So
good point.
Mhm.
I
It's an
mean,
excellent point.
I would like to see the tag teams being kept because I mean they have they never got rid of any of the men's tag team titles, right? You're gonna get rid of the women's.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I feel like um with the bigger companies in America especially, they don't focus on hiring tag teams. It's always like singles competitors, and in the meantime, if y'all really pay attention, like tag team wrestling is like not doing so great. WWE, AEW, TNA, like there's not many teams coming into these companies. It's just, oh, you and you get in the ring together, and then they have no chemistry or they don't work out, and then they go back to being singles competitors. So there should be a focus on getting teams to come in. There's a plenty wrestlers in the indie scenes that are in teams that they can bring in for men and women division. So if they really want to fix that, they have to hire teams.
Oh, for sure. My own see like I don't know. They're just not managing women's tag wrestling very in WWE is what I'm referring to. But they
Mm-hmm.
do in
Mm-hmm.
AEW as well. They are not managing it correctly at all. Look what happened. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn won those championship belts at
Mm-hmm.
Clash at the Castle, and they haven't wrestled since.
It's been
That
a
is
month.
a problem. That is a big problem,
Absolutely.
especially if there's only one set of women's championship belts, then they should be able to bounce between both Raw and SmackDown. It
Mhm.
shouldn't just be you're stuck on SmackDown. I don't agree with that. You should be allowed. They should be allowed because, like you said, Tati, there's way more women on Raw than there is on SmackDown. So I think
Right.
they should be able to go between Raw, SmackDown, even NXT too. As a matter of fact, like have them on all, be able to go on all three shows, but they need to be out there defending the titles because guess what? People are going to forget about them. People
Mhm.
are going to
Absolutely.
forget.
We already
People are going
forgot.
to forget about
Yeah.
the titles, and they won't. They're going to lose their even more of their value than they've already lost.
Mm-hmm. And
So
Isla Dawn got her ass whooped by Stephanie Bakir this weekend. So what
yes,
are we
she did.
doing? What are we doing, Paula Beck?
Oh, I love Stephanie Becker. I love. Oh my gosh, I'd never heard of her. I'm going to be the first person to admit. Never heard of her before. Watched her match that she had with Mercedes at Forbidden Door. She was leagues better than Mercedes. Leagues better than her. I was
I agree.
very impressed. And then I was even more impressed that WWE managed to snag her up and sign her. I was very surprised by that. But I'm really glad. And I don't think she's going to spend very long. If she starts off in NXT, or she is starting off in NXT, I don't think she's going to be in NXT very long. I don't think she's going to be. That's just my opinion on the matter, my feeling on it. But yeah, it's very frustrating. Like, they already don't know how to manage, and elevate the women that WWE currently has on their roster. They have started to do better as of late. They have started to make steps in the right direction, but yeah, they need to be putting some more effort into that.
I agree.
Definitely need to be putting more effort into that. So if you're going to have both Intercontinental and a United States Championship for women, you've got to elevate your women's division significantly more than what you have been in the past.
Yeah.
So that's just, like I said, that's just my humble opinion on it.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
Let's see. The next topic, Mitch will bring it up. It's who should have won. Oh, don't get me started. Who should have won the men's Money in the Bank?
In this case, let's let you start, Sarah.
Oh, like, don't get me started on it. Okay. Okay, fine. So I've heard like both sides, that people liked Drew winning, people didn't like Drew winning. The people that didn't have a problem with it are saying, oh, well, he needed it to elevate the story with him and the feud between him and CM Punk. Well, yes, it did perhaps elevate the feud. However, I think it was wasted on Drew, because you still could have elevated it, that feud with Drew and Punk, if you would have had Punk come out during the men's Money in the Bank match, interfere, causing Drew to not win. There you go. You just took a title shot opportunity away from 5 other deserving men.
Yep.
That's what pisses me off about it. It was a waste. It was a complete waste. The people that don't have a problem with it, I also have heard saying, well, and I've heard a lot of people saying, well, it's not like whoever won the men's Money in the Bank, it's not like, Cody Rhodes or Gunther when he takes the title off of Damian Priest. It's not like they're going to be winning their titles anytime soon. You don't know that. You don't know that. So it didn't sit right with me when I watched it with Earl and Mac the Giants fan. It still doesn't sit right with me. I did not like it at all. Honestly, I think Jey Uso should have won it, because he's the only person in my mind that could have carried that and potentially had, cashed it in successfully. Because you got to look at it this way. You've got LA Knight. He's in a feud with Logan Paul. He's going to be winning the United States Championship off of Logan Paul at SummerSlam. That I'd be willing to bet money on that. I'd be willing to bet money on it. I know Logan Paul has signed a full-time contract. So far, he's wrestling like a part-timer. Part-timers should hold titles, period. You got Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes just came up to the main roster like 2 months ago. He's not deserving of a title shot. He hasn't worked enough. He hasn't done enough to earn a shot at a big, big title. And besides, he already had a match with Cody when he got drafted. The night he got drafted onto SmackDown from NXT, he already had a title match with Cody. To the back of the line, son. Like, you're done. Andrade just came back to WWE from AEW. And plus, he's the speed champion. He doesn't, no. Not him. Who was the other ones that were in the match? Chad Gable.
The look on your face says it.
That boy couldn't even win the Intercontinental Championship in 5 different matches that he had a chance to. What makes you think he's going to be able to win the world heavyweight title or the other one that Cody has? Come on, be realistic. Jey Uso was your only other option. Like I said, I didn't think they were going to put it on Drew because of his feud with Punk. I'm like, Punk is going to come out. He's going to screw Drew out of getting the briefcase. Hopefully, Jey Uso wins it, and we keep it moving. But they put it on Drew and had him cash in the same day. I did not. I was not happy. I was not happy about that. I thought it was dumb as hell. That's just me. What do you guys think?
Well, my pick was Drew to win. I guess I was stupid to think that WWE wasn't gonna pull a stupid move later on that night.
I was like, come on, man. You knew Punk was gonna screw it up.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. My second pick was Jey Uso. I do feel like this guy, he's really gone over with the fans. Y'all been calling him main event Jey Uso for the longest, and all I see is L's. So I don't really understand. Like, he had to live up to that name, and him winning that briefcase definitely would have helped. Y'all see them yeet stuff everywhere. Oh my god, I can't stand it. I mean, last night I'm watching Raw and everybody with their Yeats shirt. All I see is blues everywhere. I'm like, I feel like I was watching SmackDown or something. And I was just like, this guy's freaking over. Does the company not see this? You guys could have put that on Jey Uso, and y'all wasted the opportunity to tell some little story with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Do you not know, like, there's millions of ways that y'all could have pushed that story and make it a bigger deal without having to pretty much tell the rest of the guys in that match, fuck all of y'all. We got a story to tell with CM Punk, who hasn't been here in God knows how long. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me. It really is. Sometimes I feel like the company don't invest in the people that they should be invested in at that time. CM Punk will always be that big dude in the company. Wherever CM Punk goes, he is going to be at the top. Drew McIntyre has definitely proved himself these past few months, and he went from being kind of boring and not really knowing what they're going to do with him to being pretty interesting. You know what I mean? So I think there was always going to be a story there. They didn't have to sacrifice the briefcase for some stupid stuff. So I think Jey Uso, best case scenario in terms of winning that briefcase. Feel bad for him.
Yep.
No, agreed. I mean, like Tati said, it would have been Drew, and then even though I hate to say, because I mean Jay would have been my second, but realistically, I mean, I was thinking about it earlier and just looking at all the men that were involved in this match. He is the only one who is a top tier wrestler. The rest of them are mid card. He's like the only one who has that aura about him being a world heavyweight champion. He can carry it. He can do it. He's proved that he can do it because he has done it twice. But again, like the both of you said, like we saw that coming into play, Punk like interfering and like costing that, which took away from 5 other people being given the opportunity at a title match. So again, yeah, like the only other realistic one would have been Jay, because I mean, like you said, Tati said, I mean, like he's pushed over. People love him. People still love him and everything. And he would have definitely like elevated that briefcase because he would have found the right time to cash in. He wouldn't have done it right away if he did win it. I know he would have done that strategically. And like he would have been really the only other logical one to hold that title right now out of the 5, not including Drew, involved in that match.
I agree.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's just, and I agree with what you said, Tati, when you said Drew McIntyre was really super boring. He was. It was just this, same crap. Now he's a little bit more interesting since he's been in this feud with Punk, which I'm really glad that they have given Punk an opportunity to build something while he's not been able to be in the ring. He's been out with that torn tricep that he had surgery on. So that was really good, kind of outside of the box. You wouldn't think it's outside. You wouldn't think it's outside of the box thinking, but it is, because you don't see it happen really at all, where somebody is still staying involved in a feud, or they just had started a feud while somebody, while one of the parties is out injured. I just have a feeling, and it's been super fun to see Drew just kind of like go down this rabbit hole of constantly losing his shit. And because even last night, watching Raw last night, I was like, okay, he's going to have a come to Jesus. He is going to do whatever he's got to do to be able to, and he's going to say whatever Adam Pearce needs him to say in order to get that match with Punk. I'm like,
I knew he wasn't.
Here we go.
Oh no!
As soon as he was asked to apologize to the referees that he injured, it's like he lost his damn mind again. I'm like,
no,
really? So I don't. My fear is because he was very boring before, that him constantly losing his shit and being so totally out of touch, that's going to get really old really fast. It's like, dude, come on. How entitled do you have to be to see that you sound like a total asshole? You sound like an asshat. Like,
he sounds like a whiny asshat, because that's what
he's
he is right now. I hate to say.
He's delusional. I'm like, dude, come on. Quit being delusional. You're Delulu. But like I said, it's working right now because it's entertaining. I just don't want to see it where it's wearing thin and getting boring. That's my only fear with it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, for the referees who were crying on Raw last night, this is part of the job. You might get hurt. We don't have to apologize for it. Adam Pearce, you're a wimp. You should have fought back when Drew had pushed you. You should have pushed back. I mean, you just gonna let people just do whatever you want and just put that suspended card on people? Come on now. That's all I want to say.
Well, I mean, it's been interesting, but I do agree. Like, he wasn't supposed to be going to the desk after the show and flipping his shit. I don't think like Adam Pearce should have been touching him. He should have been like, hey, get the hell out of here. You don't need to be here. You're scaring Jackie Redmond. Like, she was scared. Like, you are scaring her. Well, you need to leave right now. And then, I'm sorry, you honestly think referees, they don't even listen. Wrestlers don't listen to referees at the best of times during a match. What makes you think they're going to listen to a referee and a referee is telling them to get when they're acting all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? They're not going to listen. Like, come on now. Let's be realistic about this, people. Just, yeah.
Absolutely.
We have a question up here. Transformational scientist. Thank you very much for your question.
Hey, Jamar.
Oh, that's Jamar. Okay. Jamar. Sorry. He says, do you think WWE will ever send anyone into the G1?
No.
Yeah, I don't think they will, unless, I mean, I don't know. We've been seeing a lot of change happening as of late. And I think that, again, I'll bring it up. I think them having a partnership with TNA is definitely a step in the right direction. But I think there would need to be more change in perhaps the mentality of people, perhaps who have been with WWE a very long time. We're so used to not working, hand in hand very well with other wrestling promotions and other wrestling companies. I think we'd have to see a lot more change in a positive direction before something like that would be considered. I mean, that's just, like I said, that's just what I think about it.
It's a no for me. As long as AEW has a partnership with New Japan, it's not happening. So.
Oh, yep,
No.
yep. You got the Miss Patty Petty over there because they're going to be
No,
like,
I don't think it's
haha,
happening.
we can do this, and WWE can't. Like, that's a very good point. I didn't even think about that part, but yeah, as long as they have a partnership with New Japan,
For now.
that won't happen. Yeah, that won't happen.
For now, but I know we talk about WWE. Just need to shout out New Japan G1 tournament will be starting this weekend on the 20th. I am cheering for Takeshita or Zack Sabre Jr. to take the win. If any of those two guys are in the finals, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe so y'all can fly me out to Japan so I can witness this with my own two eyes. So yes, those are my pick to make to the
Oh,
finals.
come
Whichever
on.
one wins, I'm cool with it.
Everybody needs to help Tati because we all know Tati spent all of her wrestling funds on going to every single AEW Collision show for like the next 3 months.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, money well spent.
Yeah, so I will be at Collision this weekend, and the weekend after that, and the weekend after that, and the
Lucky
weekend after that, and the weekend after that.
You lucky dog.
Dang, girl.
Girl, I got 10 shows I'm going to in
That's
5
so
weeks.
cool.
Holy
That is
I'm so
crap,
happy.
Look at
Eat
you.
your heart out, Trinidadian man. I'm catching up.
Yeah, no kidding. And where is that job application? So,
Absolutely.
us regular folk can find it and, apply to get paid to go attend shows. That would be amazing.
Right.
Absolutely.
Just saying, that would be awesome. But no, Jamar also said he asked like a continuation. He said, who would we send? Gable, Rollins, Reigns, Gunther, like who would we send? I'd have to think on that for a little bit.
Gunther for sure. I would send Gunther for sure. Shinsuke. I would send Shinsuke.
That would be another good one.
Chad, I think I would too. I don't know about Rollins though. I don't know.
Didn't Rollins previously wrestle in Japan? I can't remember if he's ever wrestled in Japan or if it's just been primarily here in the States.
Roman?
No, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. I don't know about all that.
Not Roman. Gunther, no. Chad, I would put over there. Shinsuke. I was gonna say maybe Sheamus. Maybe I would probably put
a heavy hitter over there. That would be good.
I would probably put so the G1 is not like a tournament where you just wrestle one match and then if you lose you're out. You're literally going, so there's 2 blocks. There's a block A, block B. You're going to be facing everybody within your block, and whoever has the most points will go on to the finals. So it's one of those type of things. That's why I don't see like Roman Reigns doing it. I don't see I wouldn't see Seth doing it.
Kind of like when AEW did their Continental Classic.
Yeah, absolutely. So you go against everybody. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I said like Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, I love you, Roman. But these are one of those type of things where you're gonna see the cracks and see where Roman Reigns has his flaws. So it's a no. But Gunther, I can see him making it far. Absolutely.
Roman Reigns wrestled 5 times in all of 2023. There is no way you're going to have that man wrestling 5 times in a week. It's not happening.
So the crazy thing about it though is that like WWE, they're in terms of like being the top of professional wrestling and whatnot. I get it. And everybody over there is a so-called superstar. But when you take those people out of that environment and put them in a tournament like the G1, you're going to see who the superstars really are. Real talk. It's more than selling T-shirts and taking pictures with ugly babies and stuff like that. It's more than that. You're really going to see it when it comes down to a competition like that. So Roman, I don't see it happening. Seth Rollins, maybe if he was Tyler Black, sure.
Yeah.
But now, no.
I wouldn't mind. Yes. But just because I'm a huge fan, I would like to see Bryan Danielson do it. one last time. I would love to see it.
Oh
I
God, you know what?
love Bryan Danielson.
Oh,
He's a beast in the ring. That's for damn
he
sure.
is. His body won't let him. His
Yeah,
body
I
wouldn't
was
let him
just
for real,
about
for
to
real.
say.
I mean,
Beat
look
5 years ago. No,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
question. No
like
question.
I noticed how he looked and how he was acting after his match with Hangman in the Owen Hart tournament. And he even said like he started crying at one point, like real crying, because he said he gets shooting pains down his arms.
Ooh.
I just don't think his body would let him do it. But boy, oh boy, if he was in better shape, man, I would love to see it.
Absolutely.
He's one of my
Absolutely.
favorites, and that's what's the hardest part of him retiring for me. It's purely selfish. I love him.
Yeah.
He's so fantastic. Okay.
Oh wait,
Let's
just one more thing about
Yeah.
the tournament, real quick.
Yeah.
So New Japan got an issue right now, and I'm not trying to be biased by picking Takeshita and Zack Sabre Jr., but the truth is that right now a lot of their big stars went on over to AEW, and they're kind of relying on the old faithful wrestlers over there to kind of hold up the place. And I feel
Mhm.
like they really need to emphasize bringing up younger stars to
Yes.
help out, because it's just like, okay, y'all trying to put a lot of people in the forefront that could barely walk and stuff like that. Naito got the heavyweight title. He needs somebody to help him cross the street. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't understand why we keep looking at. I get it, like y'all reliable because those guys are the face of New Japan. But if you
Yeah.
do focus on these younger guys winning these tournaments, that's a step in the right direction too. And also, New Japan, stop being pussies and letting all your big stars go over to AEW. Y'all keep doing that, y'all gonna realize there's nobody left in the company. So we'll see.
Well, yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely think that they need to do a better job of building up their younger talent and putting their younger talent on at the forefront, because you're either going to have people, all your, veterans retiring, or they're going to be leaving for greener pastures where they're getting paid
Mhm.
more, or if somebody wants to wrestle more, they could be going to a company that like WWE where they're wrestling a lot more. You could, um, you know, and, it's just, you're absolutely right. They need to do a better job of building up their younger talent. And I really hope Takeshita wins. I love Takeshita. That
Oh
guy
yes.
he is such a beast. And I think he is underutilized in AEW. They need to be using him more. Most definitely need to be using him more.
Absolutely.
And they need to be using him better. Other than just having Don Callis be his talking piece. You know, he needs to be put up on a pedestal. Like I would have liked to see him have a match with MJF. I think instead of Will Ospreay, I think that would have been cool to see Takeshita again.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I just hope he wins the tournament. I think that would be amazing. So, and Mr. Wesley actually in the chat had a question. He said, "I have a question. Do you think WWE will ever work with AEW since WWE has a partnership with TNA?" Like my feeling, like seriously, I think a lot of the tribalism would need to go away first. There is so much hatred and tribalism between, in the fandom of both companies. Tony Khan has said some things, and people in WWE have said some things. So, just overall, I think like the tribalism and the pettiness would need to go away for that to happen. Um, I think it could, but you would really need to have, like, I think the stars align in a way for it to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's something that would happen. Obviously, it would have to start with AEW and WWE just coming together and, you know, trying to squash this whole thing. I mean, honestly, I don't really see an issue at all, to be honest. If anything, it's almost like, okay, they see let's be real, Paul Levesque gonna call AEW what he's a secondary company or whatever. And it's just like you see them as competition. You obviously do. You're watching them, and also you're taking what you see that I know that they're watching and seeing what works in AEW, which is them over there working with other companies and it being successful. So what do? They see the blueprint and they're just like, all right, well, we're going to do that too and make it work. And we're starting to see how things start off. So, it hasn't been that long. So we'll see how that end up going. But they're watching, they're seeing what's going on over there. And if they didn't see them as competition, then they would have worked with them. So yes, I'm saying that they don't see TNA as competition, obviously. And that's probably why they don't have their big names going over there, because they're just like, they should just be grateful that we giving them the platform to be over there. So that's how I see it. So
Well,
I don't know if that will actually happening. We'll see.
That's the way they see it. That's not very nice. Like,
Interesting.
But it makes sense.
Mhm.
It makes sense if that is how they think. And it wouldn't surprise me. Perhaps I think it would be. It perhaps right now is just not as blatant as it would be if Vince McMahon was still there, because he'd be just, he'd be saying all kinds of crazy crap. And it would never happen. Like, this would have never happened had Vince McMahon been still there. For sure. What do you think, Denise?
Considering not watching AEW, but seeing what I see on like social media and everything, I mean, hearing both of your insights too. I mean, like hearing what Tati had to say. I mean, it does, now that she did say that, I mean, it does make sense of like, because like TNA is just it is kind of an afterthought, honestly. I hate to say, outside of WWE and AEW, it's just like I'll bring up TNA to people and they're like, what? No, it's just like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I was like, watch TNA like back when it was good then. It's nothing now what it was then. So I mean, like that. So that does hurt them. So I mean, like, but then again, I mean, it's almost like WWE is showing mercy on TNA by sending and like letting like their guys come over to us. I mean, like, has anybody even gone over to TNA yet from WWE? I don't even know.
Tatum.
Yeah, okay. Tatum Paxley did, and I know Charlie
Dempsey, like who they?
Dempsey
yeah,
did.
that's all. Like who?
That's it. No,
those are two.
Meanwhile, y'all got people screaming their heads off with Joe Hendry over there. Jordan Grace got her ear ripped off and everything. Like, come on, y'all. Come on.
Yeah, the Rascals come back. You had two big names, like really big names in TNA, come over on the same night to NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like that's why I said earlier, it feels like the scale is heavier on one side than the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that. And it's kind of sad because I'm like, why can't we all just be grateful? We get so much wrestling. Like, believe it or not, I get sick of watching it. I don't want to watch wrestling 7 nights a week. You could, but the cool thing is you could. If you want to, you could. There is enough wrestling out there. See, you do. I just like, for me, it's like, okay, this is like I get over like stimulated from it. So I don't have a problem like recording a show and then watching it either later that night or possibly the next night if there's not like wrestling on. That's what I'll do. So like sometimes if I can't catch Collision live, I record them all so I can go on Sunday and watch it. Like, okay, I'll sit here and watch Collision while I'm, eating my breakfast or whatever. And I'm okay with that. Or if I'm like, I know I've done it when I've gone on vacation and I'm out doing stuff instead of sitting watching television, I'll record everything and then I can watch it all like on my phone later when we get back to the hotel, or I'll go and, watch it when I get back. But yeah, I mean, I just think, like, back to Wesley's comment or his question, like, the tribalism is just ridiculous. It's so just crazy, like
Yeah,
how
I agree.
mean people are. Just like somebody will post something totally innocent, that's wrestling related. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's got 67 comments. I want to see, I think this way. I want to see what other people think. And the majority of it is just venom and hatred and vitriol. I'm like, what the hell?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like, nope, I'm going to get right out of this. And it's just crazy to me. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. It's just, to me, it's stupid. It's so stupid. It's like, can't we all just get along?
Asking for too much.
Apparently, good lord, or apparently it's asking too much that people think with their brains. So, oh, here we go. Mr. All Days Off. What is y'all's opinion on the feud between Queen Nia, Tiffy, and oh god, and BBL Bailey? Yeah, that's a new one now. BBL Bailey.
um, well,
BBL Bailey.
I mean,
I don't think she had
sure.
that BBL surgery. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't
Brazilian
think so
booty
Like
lift.
either.
Bailey
I
booty.
don't think she's had Brazilian booty lift. I do not think she had one of those. That's funny.
Well, for me, I mean, it's all right. I just need Tiffany to cash in well before WrestleMania so we can have money to bank back at WrestleMania. We got 2 nights. Might as well put those things back on. Too many pay-per-views throughout the year. So, Tiffany, let's go.
I've heard and read, um, like on social media, people saying that she should be cashing in at SummerSlam. I think that's too soon.
Mhm.
I think that's too obvious. I don't think she should be cashing it in at SummerSlam.
I mean, and
Well,
even
she got a whole year.
yeah, she does. And even seeing the look on Naya's face on Monday, or sorry, Saturday, she's like, or she's, I can't even get my days right. Friday, Jesus.
Friday.
Like, Monday, no, no, Friday. Like, what are
Wrong
you
day.
doing? Like, no, like, what, like, were you really just about to cash in on her? And I'm like, oh, here, it's beginning. It's beginning. Like that tension between Tiffy and Naya, just her like even like acknowledging the fact that she could have um cashed in right then and there, and you got to see the small cracks. So I mean, it should be interesting. I guess we'll see what
Crack,
happens after
cracks
SummerSlam
forming
or
in.
even at SummerSlam. Again, you never freaking know. Tiffany could even just go out there and kind of pull a Damian Priest and be like, just know I'm here. I'm here. Keep me in the back of
Oh
your
my
mind.
god. That got so old so quick.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, watch, it's another fake out. Watch, yep, this is another fake out. He ain't cashing in. He's not gonna cash in on a random episode of Raw. Come on now.
Right.
Give me a break. I was more thinking he was gonna do it on some PLE. I'm like, he's not cashing in on a random episode of Raw or
No.
SmackDown. He's gonna wanna emulate what Seth Rollins did and do it at WrestleMania or another PLE. But yeah, and imagine Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax having cracks forming in their
Right.
wonderful, solid relationship already. Shocking. Shocking. Um, yeah, I gotta go back to that question because I forgot what it was. Because I was paying attention to what y'all were saying. No, no, he's talking different question. Different question. Okay, the feud between Nia, Tiffany, and Bailey. I hope they don't do a three-way match between them, like a triple threat match, because I think that would diminish how big of a deal it was that Nia won Queen of the Ring. I think if you win King or Queen of the Ring, it should be a one-on-one match. It shouldn't be a triple threat or fatal four-way or any other multi-man/woman match. I think it should be just Nia versus Bayley. And then if that ends, then I guess Tiffany could interfere at that time with her Money in the Bank briefcase. But I mean, we've only seen the three of them together one time, and it's just, to me, I noticed it's like Nia was kind of, her harassing, I guess, Bayley for a while. And then it was like once she won Queen of the Ring, she kind of backed off. And we didn't see Nia on TV really, other than her coronation ceremony. She hasn't done anything. And this is what I mean. Like, Nia, has she improved since the last time she was on TV, the last time she was in WWE? Yes, I will admit, she, even not being the biggest Nia Jax fan, she has improved. However, I don't think she's done enough to earn being Queen of the Ring, to earn a title shot. She barely wrestles. Why are you giving somebody like that the Queen of the Ring? You would have been better off putting that crown on Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
I mean, they made up for it, I think, by giving her Money in the Bank, but I don't want Tiffany inserting herself somewhere where she shouldn't be yet. And I know Tiffany Stratton is very good, but once again, she just got on the main roster. I don't know if she is ready to hold a heavyweight title. Like, she just got on the main roster. Is she good? Yes, she's good. She just got on the main roster, guys. Like, let's slow it down a little bit. But I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. I think their interaction on Friday, I mean, I enjoyed the interaction with the three of them on SmackDown. I thought parts of it were funny. But I just don't want that to kind of take away from Nia. You know what I mean? Like, she should at least get she's already won Queen of the Ring. She should at least get this out of the way first, before Tiffany kind of starts inserting herself in there. So, but I don't know. Like, again, and this is where, we were talking about the women's division before, Bayley's title run has been kind of anticlimactic. Same thing with Io, and previously, who Bayley won the title from at WrestleMania. Same thing. I thought Rhea Ripley's title run has been lackluster. Liv Morgan's only wrestled twice. Like, give me a break. And one of them was a tag match. So, and her title wasn't on the line. Like, they need to do a better job building up this women's division. And I don't know if putting that title on Tiffany Stratton, I don't know if that alone is going to help elevate it the way it needs to be elevated. It needs to be there needs to be multiple people getting pushed.
Yeah.
And with a quickness.
I agree.
So, let me see here. The next topic. Oh, here we go. Question. How much has Ethan Page proved himself to be a main roster ready and go for one of the main world belts? I don't think he should have won. He's only been in NXT for 6 weeks. I don't think he should have won that title.
Yeah.
I don't think he should have won. You have one match with Trick Williams, and then all of a sudden you're going to challenge for the title again. I think Javon, I thought I really like him a lot. I think that, the other, oh my God, I'm thinking about so many people. I'm mixing up. Oh, Shawn Spears. Again, he hasn't been in NXT that long. I know Javon hasn't either, but he's only been there I was like, you're seriously putting the title on him after only being there 6 weeks? That, to me, I don't know. I didn't agree with it. I thought it was way too soon. What do you guys think?
It was a petty move. It was Paul Levesque and HBK being gal pals and saying, you know what? Let's make AEW mad by putting the title on Ethan Page. And that's exactly what they did. This is
Yeah, but for their
a
developmental brand, like I just it's not much of a
well,
slap in the face in my opinion.
but let's be honest, because Ethan Page had been in Ring of Honor for months, and they kept building him and building him, and it was happening slowly but surely. My opinion, his promos were weak as hell, and his matches were improving, but it wasn't all that. And they didn't take an opportunity to put either the Ring of Honor TV title, or I wouldn't even say world title on him, but one of those titles they could have put on him, because they were pushing him and they did nothing. Absolutely nothing with him. So here he goes going over to NXT. And this was like a PSA for everybody who's over there in AEW who's unhappy, and they want to show them, like, look at what happens when you come over here. Look how we just took this zero and making him a hero over here in NXT. And that's exactly what they did. And honestly, did he earn it? Well, no, but that's
Hell
what
no.
pettiness is.
And that's why I said again to that question earlier, do you like Wesley's question where he said if AEW and WWE would ever do a partnership? That's why I said if the pettiness goes away, maybe. But there's so much pettiness and back and forth and toxicity between bad mouthing between the two companies. I don't know if it'll ever happen. But no, I don't think he earned it at all. It's like,
Yeah.
you're going to take the title off of somebody like Trick who earned it and has been busting his hump in NXT. You're going to take the title off of somebody like that.
I mean, he's not horrible, but he hasn't proved himself necessarily.
No, he hasn't.
In the company.
Not even close.
I think he really was trying in AEW, but like, unfortunately, it's so weird to describe, but it's like you're getting pushed, but also they're ignoring you at the same time. It's so weird, but it's just like, okay, you're doing something with him. Where is this going? And it went absolutely nowhere. I could understand his frustrations based off what I saw. I can get why he would go on over there. What I would have done with him in NXT was, while I still think it's crazy to put him in the title scene, I still would have just had him there just to have him there, just to give him a taste of what it's like to be utilized in a good way. You know what I mean? But then you ain't winning that title. But like I said, this was a petty move. This is them saying indirectly, Ricky Starks, Will Hobbs, there's space over here. Come on over here. That's exactly what they're doing. I mean, nobody really said anything about Bianca though, right? Because Bianca shot straight to the main roster. And after almost doing not really much, end up getting the tag titles, and she's not even a good wrestler. So there you have it.
Oh, you mean Jade?
Yeah, Jade. Yeah, Jade. She's not that great. They put him on the main roster. That was another, I think, petty move as well. She looks like a freaking $1 billion. She sure does. She's athletic. She's beautiful. I did like. She wasn't strong with promos, but I liked her style. I like her sassiness. But she's not great. Y'all did that because y'all figured, okay, you were somewhere where they could have really taken you to the moon and above, and they really didn't. So we're gonna do you the right way. And I think they have not done right by Jade by putting her in a situation where I think they valued her to be better than what she really is, and that doesn't make her look good. Sorry. So back to the drawing board with Jade.
1000% agree. I get it. They signed her and they kept her off of TV for 7 months, and she just goes straight to the main roster. She should still be in NXT. They should have brought her in NXT. You can teach her the ropes there. She can be getting tips and tricks and getting coached and stuff from all the people in the performance center, and being on NXT, getting used to the way WWE does things, really honing in her promo skills while also learning how to wrestle effectively and safely and do well at it, well before they brought her. I thought that was a huge. I remember. I'm never gonna forget that SmackDown. I think Denise and I were both on that watch along with Earl, where they brought her out. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And her first ever match was in the Royal Rumble, one of the big 4 pay-per-views they do. Come on now. You can miss me with all that.
Absolutely.
I
And this
just,
is no shade to Jay, because I think she's amazing. I just
oh
feel
yeah,
like, would you tell your homegirl to go sing at the talent show and she can't sing? Like, no, you'll just say,
exactly.
well, don't do it. We're just gonna go get a couple of lessons before we go on over there. That's
Do
what you
some
should have did. Like, if you want her to be a big deal in this company, she should have slowly been moved up. You know what it was? Yes, ballet. Triple Nose. Right. Triple H, he looked at the situation, like I said, like kind of like a petty move, just to rub it in AW's face. And I get it, but you're not making her look good when you put her in a situation that's too soon for her, you know. And in that case, it's like, I don't want to say you. Yeah, I guess you can say, like, you make her look bad by putting her in a situation that she shouldn't be in. And also, everybody has been crying for years that they would love to see Bianca and Jay together and whatnot, and they kind of gave us that in a way. And it's just like, it's cool to put the two pretty black girls together, but they didn't need this right now. They really didn't. So for me, way too soon on all that stuff. This is all Triple H's fault for sure.
They're all like both Jade and Bianca. I see them like the first word I think of when I look at both of them, I think of strength. For me, what would have been better was to see Jade and Bianca go against each other. That I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And if you notice, ever since they dropped their tag titles at Clash at the Castle, which again I was very surprised by, I did not think they were going to lose to Alba Fire and Isla Dawn of all people, somebody who or a team we haven't hardly seen since they got called up and lost the NXT tag titles. If you notice, since they lost the tag titles, they both have only wrestled once, and that was in their rematch. So hopefully Jade is getting some practice in. Hopefully they are taking her experience with being a tag champion and being with Bianca, and they are using it to teach her, okay, you got to experience being a champion. You got to experience being kind of carried and held up, having a tag partner. Now we are going to start the process of separating you two. And now we're going to teach you how to do that. And hopefully, like I said, I hope they take what she's done so far and they use it to teach her, and so she learns more, so we can see what she's really, because I don't think we've seen truly what she's capable of yet. I don't think we have. I think she could be much, much better given more time, more practice, more experience. Like she should be at every single house show wrestling, getting better, practicing.
She should have been on NXT.
Yep.
Y'all slowly build her. Oh my god! If they put her through NXT, it would have been such a big deal. Such a big deal.
Oh yeah, I don't think she is ready, Ballet Dancer. I do not think as of right now. I don't think she's ready for a solo match. But I'm just saying, when they signed Jade, that is what I wanted to see, was Jade and Bianca go against each other. That is what I was looking forward to with them signing her. I figured, oh, we're not going to see that for a while, and I was perfectly fine with it. I figured, oh, we're not going to see this for a while because they're going to have her in the Performance Center and have her in NXT so she can learn her craft and improve on her promo skills and all of that. I resigned myself to the fact I wasn't going to see her on the main roster or go against Bianca for a very long time. And they brought her on the main roster right away. I was like, yeah, that's a big mistake.
Yep.
Big mistake. I wonder if they're like rethinking that in a way now that they've seen, because she's had quite a few slip-ups in matches. I'm wondering if maybe they're regretting that decision and if they're like, okay, we need to rethink this.
I agree.
So we'll have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. Let me get into my phone here. Okay. The next topic here. Oh, this is an interesting one. Should Braun Breaker have won the Intercontinental Championship?
Yes.
Okay. And why do you say yes?
Because I'm bored with Sami Zayn.
Simple
I'm
as
bored.
that.
That's
I
it.
know. I'm kind of.
I'm bored with Sami Zayn.
We're
They're
bored.
not doing anything with him besides that. I mean, it's just like he's a goody goody every single week coming out.
That's
Yeah,
true.
he's too much of a good guy for me. And even if being a baby face, like being a baby face is being too boring. I mean, no, we're done. We're done, Sammy.
This is being too boring. I mean, I like Sammy. I was very glad that he got a chance to have the Intercontinental title. I honestly did not think he was taking it off of Gunther. I did not think he was winning that match. So I was very surprised that that happened at WrestleMania at all. I thought Gunther would have been carrying that Intercontinental title past SummerSlam for sure. So I didn't think that that was going to happen. So that in and of itself was a surprise to me. It's not that I think Sammy is boring. I can definitely understand why people think that, but it's like I like this feud with Braun Breaker in a way because I think it's given Sammy something to do. It's given somebody for him to go up against, a formidable opponent, if you will. But it's like they got to do something different with him, man. Like coming out in sweatpants every night, and yeah, like he looks like a hobo.
He needs to cut his hair. His hair's gotta get
No offense to homeless people or anything, but he looks like a homeless person. He looks like hobo.
I heard people say like he trying to turn into Mick Foley. I've always heard the Mick Foley comparison with Sami Zayn, not necessarily because of the look, but in terms of like career, which is interesting. But we're bored, Sammy. And then after coming from the ring general, okay, like you go from someone who's so dominant and it's just like then it's Sammy, then you're just like, oh, okay, like this is World Wrestling Entertainment. Where's the entertainment, Sammy? I'm over it. I'm over it.
See, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I also think Gunther's boring.
What? Maybe because he's European. I don't know. I like that he's tall.
Very boring. He's a great heel. I think he's
he is, and a great wrestler too. Probably,
but he's boring.
One of the best over there for sure. I don't know. I don't think he's boring.
He's super boring, and he's never on TV. How am I supposed to get behind somebody if they're never on TV? Last night was the first night he was on Raw in over, I think it was like 5 or 6 weeks. He's got a match coming up at SummerSlam.
It seems like he's too prim and proper.
Damian Priest.
He needs
Why is he not there terrorizing Damian
He's not worried about Damian Priest. Come on now. Nobody worried about him. Damian Priest can't even kick out when it's time to kick out. So come on. He's not worried.
I think everybody was like, what the hell was that? What just happened?
So what I heard happened was Drew's music was supposed to hit before the ref got to the 3 count. That's why Damian Priest didn't kick out, is he was waiting for that music cue to hit. When it didn't hit, that's why the ref messed up that 3 count, because he knew Damian Priest was supposed to kick out, but the music cue didn't hit like it was supposed to. So it's not really Damian's fault, because he was waiting for that music cue to hit. But it's like, dude, then you improvise. If you know you hear him go 1, you hear him go 2, and then the music's supposed to hit right away. If you don't hear that music, kick out.
Yeah.
You come up with a backup. You have a backup plan. I'm sure you have a backup plan. Like, go with the backup plan. But yeah, Like, I just think Gunther's very boring. Um, and I know he's a full time talent, but he's not there full time. He's not on television full time, and that's what worries me about him getting that world heavyweight title. Is he? It's he's going to be holding the title, and he's never going to be defending it. He's never going to be on television. So it's like, what is the point? He may as well be a part timer.
Well, I look at it different. And like in terms of Nia and Gunther obviously being king and queen, they don't want to be around y'all peasants. You know what I mean? They know they got a match at SummerSlam. They already earned their spot. They could stay home and just wait for their match. That's what I would have did too. That's what I would have done. I know, like in terms of like earning their spot, I definitely say Gunther. You know, he did a really good job being Intercontinental Champion. You know, Nia, I think could have done more in terms of earning, you know, being queen. But I'm totally cool with her winning or whatnot. But I totally get it with that concept of them being king and queen. What should they do? Just wait till their match? Why not?
Yeah,
But yeah, Braun. So like I get it. Braun obviously hasn't been on the main roster that long, but I think we can get something more interesting out of him in comparison to Sami Zayn. You know, I get like the good guys. The good guys don't have to be boring though. You know what I mean? Like y'all can still be funny. Y'all can still be entertaining. And it's just like I don't feel entertained with Sami. I'm just gonna keep it real. I haven't felt entertained with Sami in WWE, and this is why I tell people all the time. If y'all look back at a lot of these wrestlers' careers prior to being in WWE, a lot of them were more interesting, I think, before all these limitations and stuff that comes along with being a WWE superstar. So I think he was pretty entertaining before he got there. So yeah.
I'm hoping. I'm not saying that it's like the catalyst for change or anything like that, but I'm hoping we see some of those limitations fall off once Raw moves to Netflix. I think that's going to be a step forward in that regard. Now, somebody put a comment in the chat a little while ago that they said that SmackDown is going to 3 hours.
I hope not.
Please, God, no. I already can't stand that Raw is 3 hours, and now they're going to have Raw be 3 hours with no commercial breaks. Are you high?
Gonna be, yeah.
Crazy. No, I'm still changing the channel at 10 to watch Rampage anyway. But 3 hours? No.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like, there's only so long I can sit and watch wrestling for it to keep my attention. Otherwise, it's like, okay, great. Like, great, another commercial break. This is boring as hell. I don't like this. This is dragging on and on and on. Like, and I think it's just going to be made worse when there's no commercials. I think, which is what I don't think there's commercials on Netflix. Well, but I can't imagine it being 3 hours on Fox with all the commercial breaks they have. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it this way. Without the commercials, because I don't know if y'all noticed this, they do this thing where, you know, the wrestlers coming out right before the commercial break. Then when the commercial break is over, they're still in the ring and the music's still playing for the billionth time. You know, it's not like a lot of time being wasted, right? So like now if they go to Netflix, it's really not going to be wasted time. It's like the wrestler's going to have to come out and then the next one come in and the match gets started. There's no waiting 5 minutes just for one person to be out there and then the next person to come out. So that's part of the reason why it's hard for me to sit through Raw, because it's like there's a lot of wasted time. And then when you really put all the time of wrestling together, it's not even, well, I don't, probably slightly over an hour or so of actual wrestling within 3 hours. No way. No way. I don't know what y'all here to see, but I'm here to see some wrestling. And like they said, Money in the Bank was 80 minutes out of over 3 hours of wrestling. No way.
Yeah, because they had all the stupid backstage segments and all the stupid commercial breaks, and it's like, really, this is a pay-per-view. This is a PLE. You don't have commercial breaks. I'm sorry. I don't care
Right.
if it's an
I
ad
don't
for
get
one
it.
of your sponsors. That's what they were doing. They were showing commercials for their sponsors. Or I remember they did it a lot for the Saudi Arabia show, or excuse me, Elimination Chamber in Australia. They constantly had this long ass commercial on there for Tour Australia. I'm sorry, I can't afford to go anywhere. What makes you think? You think your little commercial is going to make me want to go tour Australia, which is hot as hell? No, thank you. Like, is so ridiculous. I'm like, this is a PLE. They shouldn't be having commercials. This is dumb.
Hmm.
But I'm just
I
like,
did
yeah,
get
I
one of
thought that
those.
was ridiculous.
I did get one of those crazy STD testing commercial, whatever it was. I'm just like, come on, man. The children are watching. They don't need to know about this.
You're
Oh
You
my
right.
know?
god, are you
Uh,
serious?
yeah, I thought it was very strange. On the last pay per view, I was like, whoa, what is everybody else seeing this too? Really weird. But
I'll have to
in
go back
terms
and
of
watch.
let's be honest. So like talking about there being 80 minutes of wrestling on a pay-per-view that's over 3 hours.
That is
If you had
ridiculous.
to pay what we used to pay for pay-per-views was like $50,
Oh
like
my
you
god.
would feel like you got ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They're
hands down.
doing that because they know some of us are still paying $199 from the Black Friday deal, and we barely paying anything for Peacock. So it's like, well, whatever. We'll have them sit through half a show of commercials, and then we'll put wrestling when we feel like it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, no,
See, but
I
I
don't like
also
that.
think like AEW takes it way too far by having, 13, 14, 15 matches. That's too long. I'm sorry. I'm not sitting there I cannot sit there for 5, 6 hours watching a pay-per-view. That is
It's
absurd.
long. It's long.
It's
Well,
absurd. I'm
actually,
like, I can't.
so I've actually been paying attention. Like this year, they've been keeping it at max 4 hours, which I think it's good. But like 10 matches in 4 hours, it feels like an overkill. So it's like,
I'm
it's too much to
exhausted.
sit through. You know, y'all
I'm
gonna have to space
exhausted.
these things out. There's no commercials, unlike WWE, and I'm cool with it. Some of these matches, I feel like this should be like on Rampage or something. We shouldn't have to
Oh
be
my
paying
god,
for
I said
this,
that
you
so
know.
many times. I said
And
that so many times.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Chris Jericho and them having that match for what? I man, well that pay per view was good though, but some of these matches had to go. I
Yeah,
think
I think a lot of those matches that they had on the main card at Forbidden Door, they were Dynamite Rampage Collision matches. They did not need to be on pay-per-view. They
absolutely,
didn't.
I agree.
And
I
I think they
agree.
need to do away with having 3 or 4 like pre-show matches. That's dumb.
Oh look,
That's ridiculous. They had
it was
four,
15
four or
matches in
five
total that
pre-show
night.
matches. It's
15.
That's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
That's
That's
nuts.
too
I
much.
mean, they had 2 pre-show matches, and then after Dynamite it was 3. Then after Collision it was 4. And then the morning of Forbidden Door they added a final pre-show match. So they had 5 pre-show matches.
That's
Like, this
Crazy.
is dumb as hell. Like, I'm not sitting there watching this. Like, you're out of your damn mind. Like,
I agree.
nope.
And I get it too because you have all these promotions. They had obviously themselves AEW, they had CMLL, they had Stardom, they had New
Yeah,
Japan. They wanted to showcase as much people as they could. And I was like, okay, I get it, but like y'all knew about this pay-per-view for months. Y'all should have been doing this all this
yep.
time. Y'all should have used this
It's,
entire week to have a Forbidden Door type of thing and use your
that's what I think.
biggest and best match to be at the pay-per-view. That's when they should have
Yep.
did it.
That's what I think. I think it needs to be a whole Forbidden Door themed week where
Mm-hmm.
Collision, Rampage, and Dynamite all has like decent matches. But like you said, the super important matches, the very high profile wrestlers are on the pay-per-view. And there's no
Yeah,
pre-show. You can miss me with all that pre-show stuff. Like, we don't need
too
it. I
much.
hate it. I hate it when WWE does it. I hate it even more when AEW does it. I get it. Tony thinks he's giving people more bang for their buck with paying $50 for pay-per-view, but if you really wanted to give us bang for our buck, since you do so damn many pay-per-views, you should do like a buy one get one free or buy one get one half off type of deal. That's what I think. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I know the next pay-per-view is All In over there in London, and then 2 weeks later is All Out, which the previous year it was a week between both pay-per-views. Last year I was just putting pennies and dimes and quarters together trying to get those pay-per-views, because I'm just like, wait a minute, $100 in 1 week just for a pay-per-view, 2 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
There was no buy one get one special, nothing. And I'm just like, this is how Tony Khan is oblivious. He's a billionaire. What's $50 to a billionaire? You know what I mean?
So that's like a dime to us.
So he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it, And then WWE, they give, so some people have been complaining like 5 matches, that's it. And it's just like, I still think it's a little bit on the low side. I think like 7 max is okay. I think that's just fine. And especially when it turns out that you got 80 minutes of wrestling on a 3-hour show, like you could use your time more wisely. So with them going over to do the Netflix, I think they'll realize that this is a whole different ball game in terms of production, because now it's like we can't use this like how we do on TV. So now they're going to have to change how they produce the shows. And I think we'll see better in terms of using time with WWE. Tony Khan, sister girl, I don't know what it's going to take, but less matches would be nice.
Most definitely. Nice. I think what I've noticed, like, I'm fine with having 5 or like WWE does, like 5 or 6 matches, but if those matches are bangers, I'm cool with it. Like, I am perfectly fine with that. So for me, it's quality over quantity. Like, I would rather have 5 or 6 banger matches than have 15 matches where more than half of them could be on television.
I agree.
Because to me, that is also wasting my money. I'm like, yeah, I can watch this shit for free on Sling Monday, Friday, or Saturday. Like, I don't want to be paying $50 for it. That's ridiculous. But anyway, back to the original question. Yes. I don't know if Bron Breakker should have necessarily won at this last PLE, because it was his first main roster PLE. Make him work for it a little bit. We all know that Bron Breakker, if you watched him in NXT, he was previously the NXT champion and held the title for a while. He's a powerhouse. What did Pat McAfee call him last weekend? A brick. He is built like a brick shithouse, is what Pat McAfee said about Bron Breakker. Whoa. And that's true. So I think Bron Breakker, and I've also heard and read people saying, oh, Bron Breakker's buried and blah, 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 blah. Bron Breakker is not freaking buried. Give me a break. He is not buried. He was on the Raw right after he lost that match with Sammy, and guess what? He is fine. Yep. He's fine. He's still beating the shit out of people. He was spearing the crap out of Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov last night. Like, he's fine. So I think he could afford to lose that first match, but I think this next time, I think he'll end up getting. I think if they have a match at SummerSlam, I think that's where it's going to be. And also maybe they wanted to do. Maybe WWE wanted to give him a bigger stage to win the title at, instead of just, a random PLE, have it be one of the big 4 PLEs that they do every year. But I don't think it's a bad thing that he didn't win on his first try.
But not bad.
I think this next time, though, he will. I think he definitely will. He'll get it if it's at SummerSlam. I think that's where it's going to happen. So, the next topic that Mitch has, or question, he says, are we getting Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus At SummerSlam. Um, I don't know. Like for me, I don't know if they had enough of an interaction to warrant making a match out of it.
Mm-mm.
That was just my observation. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. I mean, like that was all we saw Trish, and she only hosted Money in the Bank because it was in Toronto.
Yeah.
Because she's from Toronto. That was it. I mean, I don't. I mean, seeing them. I mean, maybe if you brought Trish back a little bit and kind of like worked with her, or like was like worked against her, kind of a thing, or what have you, help build her to that, like the two of them would have a freaking bang or fire match, no doubt. Because I mean, with Tiffany's gymnastics background, and with like she's good in the ring. Trish is amazing in the ring too. Like the two of them, I mean, like I was impressed with Trisha and Charlotte SummerSlam. When was it? Was it 2019? I think is what it was, or was it 2018? So I mean, but like Charlotte doesn't need the elevation like Tiffany does a little bit. Tiffany, like she was good in NXT, obviously, and watch NXT, but I mean, like she's bringing that over into SmackDown, so you see that she definitely has what it takes and everything. But I mean, maybe the guidance from Trish eventually. I mean, but at SummerSlam, no.
Yeah, I don't see why. There's really nothing there. I'll tell you for real, I really don't care. And because
Yeah.
there's like nothing going on. There's really nothing there, you know? And plus, by the time from now to SummerSlam, like, what are you going to get from that? So, should it happen? Definitely not. There's not enough time to do anything with the two of them, even just to get it started. No, no.
Mm-mm.
Now I could see them doing something at SummerSlam had they built Trish versus Tiffany the same way they did Tiffany versus Becky Lynch, where you had them going back and forth on, you had Tiffany coming to SmackDown, or excuse me, Raw, and harassing Becky. You had Becky going down to NXT and harassing Tiffany. Like there was a build to it, and
Yeah.
I don't think with just like I said, their small interaction that they had at Money in the Bank, and it was a backstage interaction at that. That was a few seconds. I don't think that in and of itself was enough to warrant them doing, booking a match for those two, much less if you were to do something at SummerSlam, like you said, Tati, there's just not enough time to build anything of value. And you want to elevate Tiffany, you want to push her, she's a rising star. You want to elevate her. You want to push her to the top. I mean, you already did because you gave her the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Keyword gave.
Yes, gave her the Money in the Bank briefcase. Um, it just, yeah, you're kind of, it's kind of like the one step forward, two steps back type of thing. And I don't think it would help Tiffany Stratton as much as people think it would help Tiffany Stratton. I think if you're going to do something like that, it would be more meaningful and it would do more for her if you booked her in a solid feud with a current WWE superstar, not a former one.
Yeah, I agree.
And plus, the last time Trish Stratus was on TV, she was a heel.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do with that? People are going to be just like, really? Because the last time we saw her on the TV, she was getting her butt handed to her by Becky Lynch, and she was a heel. So now all of a sudden she's a babyface? It doesn't make sense. So that's just, like I said, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's a no for me. And plus, I think wrestling fans, as soon as they see the smallest interaction, they think something's going to happen. And it's just like, no. And if anything were going to happen, why should it happen at the next pay-per-view? That's literally like 2 weeks away. There's not enough time, you know, like Friends, they see something and they just feel like it should happen right away. And it's just like, there's no build up, there's nothing to come out of it, especially the women's division. They need storylines, they need to be built
Yes.
up as characters, you know, going from feud to feud. Like there is the women's division, unfortunately, I feel like no matter where you go, it's not taken seriously. And I think the best thing that we've seen in terms of women's wrestling lately is a story with Tony Storm and Mariah May. Like to see the whole thing come
Oh
together
my
the other
God.
day, it was just like, that's how you fucking do it with the ladies. And I'm just like,
Yep.
everybody should be taking notes right now, you know? And I mean, Trish, Tiffany, SummerSlam, no thank you.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you miss me with that one. Like, but Tony Storm, the way they built Tony Storm and Mariah May, you saw them come together and everything was great and they were BFFs and Mariah May was kissing Tony Storm's butt and following her around and helping her cheat to win and all this stuff. And then you slowly started to see the dissolution of that relationship between those two ladies that culminated in Mariah May attacking Tony Storm and getting her all bloodied after
Mm-hmm.
her win at the Owen Hart match against Willow Nightingale. And I thought it was executed wonderfully. It was great. And
Absolutely.
now it builds. Now we get a heel Mariah May while Tony Storm has been heel. Now they're going to be flipping the script where now Tony Storm's going to be the babyface, Mariah May is going to be heel. Let me ask you this, Tati, since you watch AEW. Um, do you think Mariah May should win the title off of Tony Storm?
No.
I agree. I think it's way too soon. There's so many people for months have been saying, "Oh, Mariah May is going to win it off of her," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what is? She hasn't done enough. She hasn't had enough of a presence. She hasn't been in enough matches in AEW for it to be meaningful. Like, and that's one place where they are really lacking storylines is AEW. Good storylines that make sense. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not dogging on AEW because I like
Yeah.
AEW and I like WWE, but they really need help in their storyline department. And you and I talked about this a little bit when I did the watch along with you, that they need a writing team. They need
Mm-hmm.
a live event team. Earl has mentioned this so many times. He and I have been preaching this for over a year. Like, they need a live event team. He needs a better PR team. He needs a social media manager,
Mm-hmm.
because Tony Khan has got so much on his plate with also running the Jaguars, and I'm sure he's got other businesses that he runs. If he can get teams of people in place there and delegate his wishes to those teams, and those are the professionals. Those are the people that are subject matter experts in those specific areas. Can you imagine how amazing it would be? I
Absolutely.
mean, it would be fantastic. So I don't think, with All In coming up very shortly, I don't think that there's going to be enough time to further this storyline between Mariah May and Tony Storm to where it's meaningful and it's
Well, we
going
got
to
6 more weeks.
matter.
I don't
I
know what they're
know.
gonna do. I don't know if that's enough time
I
because
don't
we had
think Mariah May should
months
be
of
winning.
Mariah in the company. See, my thing is
That's
only
what I
the reason.
mean.
My reason for her not winning is not because she hasn't been there that long. It's because the entire time that she's been there, she's just been Tony Storm number two. I don't think
Yep.
people truly gotten to see who Mariah May is. So now we got 6 weeks to find out who she is after she's been here for months, you know?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I don't think it's enough.
she's even using Tony Storm's old ring gear and her old theme song and the graphics and everything. Like, she's copycatting Tony Storm, and I'm like,
Boy.
okay, you just spent the entire time she has been here creating this perception for us fans that she is trying to emulate Tony Storm as much as possible. And now all of a sudden we're just instantly supposed to forget everything you've been showing us and telling us for the last however many months. It's not going to happen that fast. So
Yeah.
I don't think she should win at All In. I don't. I do not think, and I don't want to see it where they pull the BS they did with Soraya last year, where they only reason they
Oh.
gave Soraya the title was because she's from England and All In was
No.
in England. I thought that was bullshit. I was so pissed. I'm
Capital
like,
letters
this
bullshit.
is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm like,
If it
really?
happens, that's why. That's
Yeah,
why.
if it does happen, that will be why. It's simply because they're in England and she's from England. That's the only reason why it happens. I do not
Mm-hmm.
agree with that in any way, shape, or form. Same
Yeah.
reason why they had Will Ospreay win against Jericho last year is because he's from England and they were in England. Granted.
But Will Ospreay, though, that's another story. Will Ospreay had a phenomenal
Oh,
year last year. I would have given him the win over Jericho anyway.
I know.
I mean, if anything, I'd probably think he had like the best matches out of any wrestler last year. He was absolutely phenomenal. I'm a little bored with him right now because they put him on TV way too much. But if he ends up winning this year, who's gonna care? He's going against MJF. I would love to see MJF win, but it's just like, all right, Osprey running again. What's new? So we'll see.
Exactly. I mean, the only match he lost was against Swerve, which Swerve definitely should have been winning that match, and they needed to give Swerve needs to be elevated more than Will Ospreay does at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Will Ospreay was on an undefeated winning streak. He could afford to lose a match. I'm sorry. That's
Right,
why I
against
said
the
it earlier.
champion of all things. Yeah,
Yeah, he can
absolutely.
afford
And
to
and
lose a match. It's not going to hurt him.
and prayers to Swerve Strickland. Um, Brian Danielson, you got to beat. I don't know about that. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I know Zack Sabre Jr. People constantly, or he calls himself the best technical wrestler in the world. I'm sorry, no, no.
He
Brian
getting
Danielson
there.
has
I'm not
that.
gonna lie. What Zack
He's
Sabre Jr.
good.
did to Orange Cassidy at Forbidden Door, Lord have mercy.
That
Lord
was
have
that
mercy.
was that was good to watch.
So
That was good.
he's up there. He's up there. He's
He's up
he's
there,
he's
but I don't
he's
think
up
he's
there.
the best technical wrestler in the world. I don't think so. I think that title has to go to Brian Danielson.
It's neck and neck for me. They're both one of my faves. Shibata is another one too who's there, getting close behind Brian. Brian, he's not gonna be doing this much longer. So Shibata is
No,
definitely gonna end up
unfortunately.
taking that spot in AEW. But
Unfortunately.
unfortunately, Brian, man, this guy is broken all over the
Yeah.
place. So like I do kind of feel like that would be his first time winning the title. If he wins it, he's almost done as a full-time wrestler. I wouldn't be surprised if he won it. But the thing is that what are we gonna get out of Brian as champion? He's not at his best right now. So
No,
I'm
he's
I'm a
not.
little worried for him.
That's why I could see Swerve winning at All In. Like I
Yeah.
could see that happening. I mean, I'll be okay either way because I like both of them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. I guess it doesn't matter to me who wins. I'm just like to your point. If Brian wins, how much can he do with that title? I mean, he is broken. He's beaten up, and he's getting to the end of his career. So you want to really have Brian Danielson, be seen essentially as a transitional champion, and then you're going to take the title off of Swerve, somebody who's climbed and clawed and had blood, sweat, and tears coming out of himself for AEW and to get that title. And then, so to me, it's gonna. I think if that happens, I don't want it to, but I have a feeling some people would see it. excuse me, diminish Swerve's title reign if
Yeah.
that were to happen, because it's like, really, you're in Brian
Well,
Danielson,
does
but like
Brian
I said,
deserve the title? He does. but I think it's
Oh, for
overdue.
sure.
Like if he had
Oh
won
yeah,
it
it is hands down
a
overdue.
while ago, it would have been fine. I think we would have gotten probably the best out of him with being champion. Had it been, I think, like maybe prior to the Continental Classic tournament, maybe I think that would have been a good time for him to have been champion. But because of right now his career and then Swerve has it, like the circumstances is not that great for Brian, you know. But I'm cool if he
I
wins.
know.
I'm cool with it.
Oh, I would love
Um,
it if he won.
I don't know. Mr. Aldays also said the fans might riot if Swerve beats Brian in London. They Tony Khan, you better have security ready. Pound cake and cheesecake and all them little security guards y'all got over there is not gonna cut it. So y'all gonna have to get some forces over there in that
Absolutely,
arena.
definitely have security team because I think Mr. Alday's off is correct. I think that people would be very upset if Brian loses
Or if
at
Will Ospreay
heavyweight,
loses, you
or
think
if Will
the
Ospreay
hometown
loses.
boy gonna go
Oh
over there
my
and lose the
God,
title? Hmm.
no!
I don't think
I
so.
don't think he's. I don't think he's gonna lose, and he's. I don't think he's gonna lose in London. I don't think he's gonna lose that title in London. But I could see if Brian Danielson does take the title off of Swerve, I could see Will Ospreay being the one that takes it off of Brian Danielson.
Oh no.
I could see it. I could see it.
Mm-mm.
I could see it.
Mm-mm. Oh, thank you. No, thank you.
I'm just saying. I could see it. I could see it happening. Um,
That's one possibility I don't want to see. And another possibility that I've heard people say is that if Brian wins, they're gonna want like John Moxley or Claudio to get it from him. And I'm just like, don't break up my boys for your little fantasy story. You know what I mean? Like they're a group. I don't want to see them fighting and feuding. I mean, maybe it won't be the worst thing, but I don't want to see my group you know.
Moxley's already had the title, so if they were to pick between those two, I'd rather have Claudio have it.
Oh yeah, that's
I'd
true.
rather see
That's true.
Claudio have it because Moxley's already been champion a couple times, actually. I think so.
Three.
Moxley's already had the title, so I would much rather see Claudio get his dues and get the title if I had to pick between those two because I like both of them too. So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't really matter to me, but I would rather see it go on Claudio.
I agree.
So let's see. And the final topic of this evening is: are you really looking forward to LA Knight versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam? Yeah, I'm looking
No.
forward to it for LA Knight to take the title off of that goober. That's what I'm looking forward to.
LA Knight versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam for the United States Championship. That's my bathroom break match.
Girl, I'm with you.
No, thank
I'm
you.
with you.
Pretty much I don't want, and anybody who knows me, I've said this so many times, part-timers should not hold titles.
Mm-mm.
You are holding other people back that are there full time, week in, week out, show in, show out from
Mm-hmm.
getting that title. And that is a great mid card title for people to, sink their teeth into to start off with, like Carmelo Hayes. That would be a great title for him to win first
Mm-hmm.
before a heavyweight title like what Cody has, or undisputed title. Sorry, I keep calling it the heavyweight title, but um, I'm just looking forward to, and I knew as soon as they announced that SummerSlam was in Cleveland, I was like, Logan Paul is from Cleveland. I said, wouldn't that just be awesome if Logan Paul dropped that title in front of his hometown crowd? I
Please.
would love it. I would
Please.
love it, love it, love it. I'm not a Logan Paul fan at all. Is he a good wrestler? Absolutely, but I think he half-asses it.
Yes.
I think he could be great if he actually applied himself and actually was there in a full-time capacity like the rest of the full-time roster. That's my opinion. So I don't
Yeah.
think part-timers should have titles. That's why I didn't like Roman Reigns holding that title for as long as he did. You're holding that title hostage. Like, Roman Reigns is great. I understand what he did, what he's done for wrestling, yada yada yada. I get it. However, you are holding back other people from being able to have that title who are very deserving, and that I do not agree with. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. It is just for Logan Paul to lose the title finally and get that onto LA Knight. I think it's a great first title for him to win. I think it's a step up. I think it's a step in the right direction. But yeah. But I agree. Bathroom break. That'll be the bathroom break.
Bathroom break.
Like, Earl, I'll be right back. Boop. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Literally. I feel like I'll just play the entire match. I don't care. I'm gonna take a quick bath. Right. Let me know when it's over.
Exactly. Pee break. It's pee break match. Oh, Mr. All Days Off. He said supposedly Cleveland hates Logan Paul. I heard he might get booed.
Oh, well, good.
If he loses, they'll probably cheer them.
Yeah, right.
They probably would. I mean, people really do like LA Knight, so I can. It's not like if LA Knight won, he wouldn't necessarily. I don't think they would boo him for real. Even though it's in Logan's hometown.
No.
I don't see it. Not with LA Knight. No. I think it's overdue for him anyway. Logan Paul having this title, I don't think has done anything for the title. Matter of fact, some people probably don't even remember this title is even a thing because Logan Paul is just he's a champion of the internet or something, and it's just like, okay, all right, fine. You got like how many subscribers? I don't even know what Logan Paul content is on social media. I've never seen this guy until WWE, and I've still never seen like one video from him. He comes out and he always bring all these other people from the internet that I've never seen or heard of before coming out helping him win and all this stuff, and it's just like, who's enjoying this? You know what I mean? Like, in terms of wrestling fans, y'all looking to cater to all those people who watch YouTube all day, and it's just like they don't care about your show. Why aren't you catering to the fans and having some prestige for this title? And Logan Paul, how many times has he defended after all this time? I don't like it. I don't like it.
Last time he defended the title, I thought wasn't it like WrestleMania or something?
Something like that.
Or no, yeah, that match. He had that match with Cody. I think it was a match he had with Cody.
What? It wasn't the title on the line though, right?
Something the title wasn't on the line, so that was. I think that was the last time he wrestled in a one-on-one match. I know he was in.
Right, but that's wasting an opportunity to go against Cody Rhodes that we know he's not going to beat when you could be putting that title on the line for these mid-carders who don't have anything to fight for. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like this thing about catering to people on the internet that don't even care about wrestling, who's only going to show up for like 2 minutes to see Logan Paul get his ass whooped. Like, it's not enough. It's not enough. It doesn't really make sense long term for him to have had the title this long and not doing anything. Like, y'all say what y'all want about Roman. Roman Reigns was actually a wrestler, He's gone through years of doing this shit before he got to that point of being a tribal chief and defending it, I don't know, like 12 times a year, if that. At least he got to that point to be able to do that. But Logan Paul hasn't done a damn thing. What he doing? He's selling prime bottles and that's it? Come on now. Not enough.
Defended it at least. I think I saw that he defended it only twice in the time that he's held it.
Twice?
Yeah. I think that's what I read.
2 times.
Well.
Yeah. There you have it, folks. Like, I totally agree. I mean, my favorite part, like to your point when you said Logan always brings a whole bunch of people with him, like, my favorite part was like when Randy Orton gave an RKO to the one guy that was there with him, and then he was barking in the face of the other stooge that was there in the prime bottle costume. Like, that was the highlight of that match for me. Like, ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's just, yeah. I mean, I never watched Logan Paul's videos. It wasn't a thing for me. Wasn't ever a thing for me. The only reason why I know his name before he came to wrestling was because of all the bad crap that he's done before he got into wrestling. That's the only reason why I
Oh,
recognized his name, was all the shit that has gone down in the past, between what he's done investment wise, business wise, the way he
was he a
screwed
scammer?
over friends. Yeah, he was a part of some big cryptocurrency scam,
Oh
like
Lord.
ripping people off, ripping regular folks like us off. And I'm like, are you
Oh,
serious right now? Like, get the hell out of here with that crap. Like, no.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I knew Logan Paul. I knew of his name before he came to WWE. I was very shockingly surprised, like pleasantly surprised, that he actually could wrestle when we first saw him. I wasn't expecting that. So the fact, like I said, the fact that he could actually wrestle and do the moves was very surprising to me.
Not good enough.
But
Yeah, I even had to ask on Friday. I was just like, who's the United States champion right now? Like, I forgot who it
Right.
was.
He's never around. So yeah, I
Nope.
say take it off him. Y'all know LA Knight gonna be defending the title. Y'all know y'all gonna see him on a weekly basis. So why not? Why
Yeah,
not?
he does show up on a weekly basis, unfortunately for me. It's all right. It's not, but it's all right.
True. We'll take that because that actually opens the door for other wrestlers to
This
have an
is true. This is
opportunity
true.
to feud and wrestle for this title, unlike whatever his name is with the title right now. So I don't know. I'm not a fan. What I do think Logan is I think he is interested in wrestling, and I do feel like he's actually taking the time to learn. But you also have to understand, like, there is something in terms of paying your dues in this business as well. You're only given the title because you have what Mr. Aldezon said, 23 million subscribers, and I'm guessing WWE assumed that 23 million of those people was going to start watching WWE. I don't think so, Paula Beck. That's not how it works.
Yep.
So here we are. Here we are.
far from it. I'd be really interested, because I'm sure they did this as a way to get the more casual viewers, more casual fans, to get them into watching WWE more. I'd be very interested to see, if that was what they would consider quote unquote successful, but B, how successful was it? Like, how many more fans did you get from it? How did it affect your ratings? Because while ratings don't matter really when you're watching product, when you're talking about ad revenue and sponsorships, the 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 ratings do matter when you're looking to get investors and funding and that kind of thing. So I'd be really interested to see what that stuff looks like.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I never bought a Prime drink from
Nope.
watching seeing a little Prime stand y'all got on the side. I've never even thought about it, not even once. Okay, so the advertisement obviously it ain't working on me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but
No. Seeing in the middle of
it's
the ring is not going to make me
Say
run
that
out
Rocky
right.
Bottom
How dare
forever.
y'all?
anyone. Like,
How dare y'all vandalize a professional wrestling ring with a Prime sticker? Are you guys kidding me?
Yep.
Oh
well,
my god!
if we're going to use that logic, okay, so you have Prime on the posts advertised, because they have those digital ring posts. You've got it on the ring, in the middle of the ring for the PLEs, and you've got the little display off to the side. What about the rest of your sponsors? Like, what does that mean? You're going to start putting a rack of dude wipes next to the ring now?
Oh no,
Like,
I'm good. I'm
I mean,
good.
are you
Or
going to
maybe
hand
those
out
Slim Jims right
special
next to those dude wipes.
special like WrestleMania colored packs of dude wipes, or boxes of cinnamon toast crunch, or a thing of Slim
Wow.
Jims? Like, Come on
First of
now.
all, men need their own wipes. Like, what is that? That's so
You know
weird.
what's really, really funny? I had never heard of dude wipes until I did WrestleMania with Mac the Giants fan and Nick on night one of WrestleMania. I'd never heard of dude wipes before. All of a sudden, I see the ad for it come up on the ring post. I'm like, dude wipes? I'm like, what the hell is
Weird.
that? And Mac and Nick started laughing their butts off. They're like, it is wipes for men. I'm like, oh, they're butt wipes for men. Okay, I didn't realize men couldn't use Cottonelle wipes. I'm like,
Right. Like, what's the difference?
I'm like,
I don't get it.
my husband uses Cottonelle wipes. Like, we have Cottonelle wipes. Like, I'm not buying dude wipes. Like, really? I didn't realize that
Weird.
was even the thing. So it was hilarious because, I have the can of Dinty Moore beef stew, and Earl says he's beaten the stew. I show my can of Dinty Moore. Well, I did night 2 of WrestleMania with Mac and others, and Mac actually had his package of dude wipes with him
Oh God.
What?
for night 2. He's like, Sarah, see, this is what dude wipes look like. I was like, oh my god,
And it doesn't look any different from regular
no, it
wipes.
doesn't. I'm like, oh,
Same
it's just
thing, sure.
that's what I said. I'm like, oh, so they're like Cottonelle wipes. All right, like that's cool.
Were they scented?
I don't know. I didn't think to ask.
That is so
It just-
funny.
oh my gosh, it cracked me. It just cracked me up. It just cracked me up. But yeah, like I said, seeing an advertisement, it's not making me run out to buy Prime or dude wipes or cereal or any of that other stuff. I mean, I get why they have to do it. It generates revenue, makes money. I get it. But still, it's like I don't think that the mat should have anything on it. Because to
Right.
me that's like sacred ground in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it should have anything on it. I get it that may have been done back in the day. I get it. UFC perhaps does it, but I don't think it should have anything. Now, does it bother me enough to where I'm not watching PLEs anymore because I hate Logan Paul and there's Prime logo in the middle of the ring? No. It doesn't bother me that much, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't think anything should be on that wrestling mat. I don't think anything should be on it.
I agree.
For me, it's a respect thing. Like, I don't think anything should be on there.
I agree.
You already have it everywhere else. You already have it on the ring posts and on the walls, the security walls, and you have ads all over the place for it in the
They have a
arena
whole
when you go to an event.
stand
Like,
full of them. Like,
yeah. Or you have
what
it on
more?
like,
What more do you need?
the big screens in there. Like, you have it there. Like, or I've seen some arenas where they have like a digital. It's probably about yay wide, but it goes around the whole upper part of the stadium or the
Mhm.
arena, and they'll put the ad there for whatever the product is while the matches are going on. You got
Well, who knows? If Logan lose the title,
ad.
you take the whole Prime advertisement with him.
Yeah, right. Please.
Bye.
Bye.
In the famous
Don't
words of
look at
Seth
me.
Rollins, bye
Bye
bye.
bye, bitch.
That's one of my most favorite things. Bye bye, bitch.
That'll work.
And like I say, I play move, bitch, when I'm driving down the road. I say bye bye, bitch, when I pass people on the road. Like the people that are going 15 under the speed limit. That's fun.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
and it's only like a 2-way, so you can't go around, and that's the freaking
Oh my
worst.
God.
Horrible.
Well, it has been so bad here. For those of you that are listening or watching that don't know, I live in southeastern Wisconsin. Right now, it's been really, really bad since this last weekend because we have the Republican National Convention taking place about a half an hour from where I live.
Oh,
So
Oh.
the traffic around here has been horrific. It's even
I bet.
side streets have been, oh my God, it's been awful. It's been so bad. I mean, I get, they've got to have security and roads shut down and things. I get it. But at the same time, it's like I'm a half an hour away from where it's taking place. Like, this shouldn't be affecting all the way out here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but maybe it's just there's more people on the road too because it's summertime and people are out driving more. But Mitch said for a second, I thought you said Mitch. No, I said but the bitch with a B.
B.
That's what I said. I said with a B, not a M.
If we're
Mitchell Foley.
I was about to say we're gonna call you Mitchell.
Mitchell Foley. So every time you guys are watching a stream that Mitch is on, Mitch does a bunch of like other sport coverage. Please call him Mitchell Foley.
For me, please. Thank you. He's shaking his head right now.
And he's shaking his head and rolling his eyes behind the scenes. I am sure of it. I'm sure of it. That is what he's doing. Or he's saying, why me? Why do I deal with this? Why me? Yes, why me? That's probably what he's saying. So at this time, I would like to invite anybody that's in the chat. Do you guys have any questions or any topics you guys want to bring up or have us discuss? I'll give you guys a chance. If you're in the chat, go ahead and post your questions or your thoughts there in the chat. Just give everybody a chance to let their comments be known before we sign off. And just so everybody knows, I got to scroll back up to it because Earl put it on here.
Oh, I think
Queens of the Ring. So our next episode of Queens of the Ring, in case you guys don't know, we do this once a month with Denise, Tati, Martina, and myself. Martina had to be absent tonight. So if you're listening or watching, Martina, I hope everything's good and can't wait to see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
So we do this once a month. And the next time we're going to do Queens of the Ring is going to be Tuesday, August 13th. So mark that on your calendars. This is a Hardcore Sports exclusive. So it's only going to be shown on the Hardcore Sports YouTube page. Or YouTube channel. That's where you can watch this on YouTube. So not sure. Let me scroll back down.
No questions have come through.
No questions yet? Okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, I guess that is going to do it for this episode of Queens of the Ring. So I thank everybody in the chat. Thank you, Denise and Tati, for taking time out of your night to
of course
talk about wrestling stuff. It's always good getting to talk with other girls about wrestling.
And I'm learning new stuff every single freaking time from the two of you. I really am.
Well, Denise, I hope we're not scaring you from AEW. I feel like we probably are. There's some good wrestling over there. Trust me. It's just we need to get it together a little bit more.
Over there. They've got so many wonderful wrestlers over there.
Talent. They just don't know how to utilize.
I feel like a lot of the talent is underutilized for sure. And I don't know if it's just because they have so many wrestlers and their roster's so bloated. And that's why, because I kind of feel like that's why these pay-per-views are so long and have so many matches, is because Tony Khan wants to try to get on as many people as humanly possible. Even if you take Forbidden Door out of the equation, you take out the CMLL and the New Japan and the Ring of Honor people, just the AEW roster alone, I do think that is a contributing factor to why he has so many matches and pre-show matches on the pay-per-views, as he wants to try to get everybody, as many people as possible, time to shine on TV.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of true. It's not that he wants to get everyone, it's that he want to get the same people. It's always the same few people who's always on the shows, always on the pay-per-views, and then the other part of the roster, it's like y'all can sit in catering. If somebody get hurt or if we need somebody to fold up the mat, we'll call you. That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of the same cast of characters, so to speak. And and they just have so many good people there, so many, and it's just because there's so many good people. I again also wonder if that is also part of the problem with the storylines. Is it's probably very difficult for the writers that he does have there to write good, meaningful storylines for so
Writers.
many people.
It's Tony Khan that's writing everything.
My point
Tony
exactly.
Khan. Tony
He
Khan
doesn't get
already
it.
told us
Well,
he got a little journal where
Oh
he puts
boy.
everything in. That's what he said, not me. He said it. So it's him. I can't imagine this journal going from people to people. So
but
it's
didn't they
him.
bring? They signed. I think. I think she was a former WWE writer, Jennifer something. It starts with an S. I can't think of her name.
Oh,
But didn't they
I
sign
could.
her? Like she's a writer.
Well,
I
what
mean,
I've actually heard is that she works exclusively with like certain people, like
oh
writing
really?
for certain people. I don't know if this is true, but like the
Lord
more high
Almighty.
profile wrestlers that's on the roster, she doesn't write like per se for everybody, you know.
Everyone.
So
Oh.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
wonder if,
and
and so I'd
you
be
need as much people as you
interested.
can.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to, he needs a whole team of people. Like, if you want to have a certain team of people handle just the women and a certain team just the men, or mixing it up or whatever, he needs a writing team to
He has
Yeah.
take
some
that
money.
off of his plate. Exactly. It's not like you have
Oh
a
yeah,
shortage of money.
no, I agree.
You don't have a shortage of money. Like I heard, again, I don't know if this is accurate, how accurate this is, but I heard like AEW is, I guess you could say, richer than WWE. Like AEW has more money than WWE does, even with when you take into account the TKO part of it. Like they have more money than,
Really?
yes, that's what I heard is Tony Khan in AEW, they have more money than WWE does. Now, again, I don't know how true and accurate that is. That could just be a total rumor at this point. I don't know. But you would think for somebody that has all that money, you should be spending it a little bit more wisely.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of paying like Mercedes Monet, you know, 5 million whatever dollars a year for the what, 3 freaking times that she's wrestled since she was signed in March.
Oh Lord.
Absurd. Instead of doing that and paying these people, you know, millions and millions and millions of dollars, give them a more reasonable contract. It's not like they're having to wrestle doing 7 days a week like they do in WWE with the house shows and the TV shows and PLEs.
Yeah, I
Pay
agree.
them appropriately and then use that extra money to, again, a writing team, a live event team, have an actual social media manager for AEW and for yourself, because some of his tweets there sound a
Yeah,
little
somebody take
cuckoo.
control of Tony Khan's Twitter account.
Yep.
And I've been saying it,
Keyboard
like
away.
I don't understand. He definitely don't have no girlfriend. And plus his dad should have called when he was going off on Twitter that night. He should have called him and went over there and take that phone. That's what I would have
Yep.
done.
Put down the phone / tablet / laptop. Like, you do not need to be. And that's another thing I don't understand. And Earl has talked about this before. Like, Tony Khan doesn't make things better for himself. Like, when you have
No.
AEW detractors saying just the awful crap they say on social media, like, he's not doing himself any favors by commenting back to these people, because you're just making yourself look like more of an idiot.
Well, I actually understand wanting to defend like your baby, like
Oh,
AW's your baby.
definitely.
I get it.
Definitely.
But you have to understand that you're the best way to show people wrong is by what you do with the company, by you building up this company. And instead of you will be here arguing with XYZ and all these people that still living in their mama's basement and stuff, like you should literally be putting on a better product to shut all these people up. That's what he should be
Exactly.
doing, not tweeting.
Yeah, you're adding fuel to the fire, and obviously, and I've seen it happen where he will say something back to these people, and their next comment to him is, "You've just proven my point.
Oh
What
man,
I
but the
just said
whole
about you, what I just said about
Sarah,
AEW,
do you remember
proves
the
my point."
NXT and Dynamite being on that Tuesday that time?
Yep,
I don't know if you remember. And
I
then
do.
he was making it a big deal, like, oh man, we're gonna have better ratings, blah 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 blah. And they turned out to have one of their worst rated dynamites. And I was just
Oh
like,
yeah.
man, I wouldn't have said a word. I would have just let things play it out. But let's keep it real though, because WWE, they had to pull all the stops. Like they literally got my dead man out the grave to be on the show. And
Oh
I
yes.
was just like, all right, y'all really trying to make sure y'all win this thing. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
yeah. I'm like,
it was wild.
well,
Wild.
that's why I said, like, when it happened, because Earl and I, we did a live stream, Dynamite, like we did. And we even said, when we were talking about it that Thursday on the wrestling experience, Earl was going over the ratings for both shows. I said, "Did you honestly expect anything different?" First of all, Tony Khan opened his big fat mouth and made a way, like you said, made a bigger deal of it than needed to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And that caught the attention of WWE. They're like, "Oh, here, hold my beer," you know? And they went and called, they got Cody Rhodes, they got Undertaker, they got, I think Becky Lynch they called down a bunch of people off the main roster to be on
Yeah,
NXT that one night. Is it any wonder why their ratings are higher? Come on now.
crazy. Crazy.
So yeah, I totally remember that. I very much remember that. But that's why it frustrates me so when they'll have like AEW. I think it was the first. It was either the first 3 weeks of March or it was the last 3 weeks in March. Dynamite, boom, boom, boom. They were phenomenal shows. They were excellent. And then all of a sudden, it's like they took a long walk off a short pier, and it just took a nosedive off a cliff. And it was like that for over 2 months. I'm like, this sucks. Like this shows it's got so bad. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like there's no consistency. And
I
that's where I
agree.
think having that writing team and having all these different teams in place could really help that. You could have better storylines, which is going to draw more attention to the company. And people are going to want to, come and, want to watch it live or watch it on TV, which will help your ratings improve, which will then help you secure that TV rights deal and that streaming deal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why I was so surprised when it was doing so well those 3 weeks in a row. And it's pretty sad that, you know, we're impressed by that. But um that's why it was so frustrating, because I'm like, you guys did excellent shows for 3 weeks. Both Dynamite and Collision were very good. Well, I guess you could say Rampage too, but I don't consistently watch it. I record it and watch it. I'll watch it on like Saturday morning or something. Um, but you would think that they would want to keep that momentum up, because you figure, Will Ospreay just came. You just signed Mercedes to AEW. Those two people, and I think in between there too, they signed Shibata, which was kept very
Okada.
quiet. Or Okada, sorry, you signed
I knew it
Okada.
was Okada. I knew. I already
Sorry.
knew. I was more
So
sure about Okada over Mercedes, but he got them both.
he
Surprise,
got
surprise.
both of them, which I was surprised at that he got both of them. But you had all three of those people starting in the same month. You had three excellent shows, 3 weeks of good shows across the board, and then you just let it nosedive. I would think that you wanting to get this new TV rights deal and a streaming deal, that would be enough motivation for you to put forth that same amount of effort every single week until at the very least, until you have those deals secured and everybody is signed on the dotted line, and you start streaming and whatnot. Like I just, to me, it's baffling to me.
Yeah. I agree. And if all
Yeah.
else fails, I will be starting my own wrestling promotion. It is starting in 2039. So, you know, if things don't work out, y'all look out for my promotion
So
coming
that's
soon.
why that's why when you guys watch Tati's streams on her channel, send those super chats in because all that money goes into her jar for her new
It's
wrestling
going
promotion.
there. We're actually like $45 in, so we're on the right track because
Hey, gotta start.
it was originally supposed to debut on 2040, but we're making use of time, so 2039. Yeah, it's
Hey, gotta
working.
start. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta
Love
start
that.
somewhere. Okay, guys. Well, I guess that'll do it for Queens of the Ring again. Mr. All Days Off says
All
Tuesday
time.
Night Wars, and I was thinking that, and then he said all Tati wrestling. I'm like, that's funny. That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a come with a name, but don't worry, it looks like I have enough time to come up with a name, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
But yeah, so that'll do it for the show again, guys. We thank you all for being here with us tonight. We will be back next month in August on Tuesday, August 13th. So watch out for that. Again, this is exclusive to the Hardcore Sports Network. So this is the only place you'll be able to watch us on YouTube every Tuesday, on Tuesday every month. So again, thank you, Tati and Denise, for joining us tonight.
Mhm.
And we'll see you guys. We'll see everybody and talk to everybody in August.